What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV. Back with another live stream today, man. The day after the night before. What a night it was in London as England were beaten by Italy in the Euro 2020 final. And, you know, a lot of things happened before and after the game. Overall, not a great performance, in my opinion, from England. And Italy, in my opinion, were the deserved, I have to say, I think Italy were the deserved winners of the game, and they leave with the trophy. So congratulations to the Azzurri. I think they've been probably the best team in the competition, and congratulations to them. Before we get into the football, a few things happened yesterday. Now, you know me, people, I'm quite lighthearted. I like to bring a little comedy and enjoyment to the streams and things like that. But I think a lot of fans are singing "Football's Coming Home" and, you know, all of these kind of things, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the behavior of a lot of fans yesterday, and I shouldn't even call them fans because I don't consider them as fans. You can't sing "Football's Coming Home," but then look at the home that you live in and the behavior and the actions of the people that are living there. First of all, yesterday, during the daytime, people trash Leicester Square. They're throwing bottles in the air. Women were being hit with bottles. That man are drinking a bottle of beer and just throwing it up in the air amongst a crowd of people, and people are being hit with bottles. Smashing windows, jumping on cars, just typical looting and hooliganism. Not a football fan. Grown people, do you know what I mean, who should know better. You then go to a game. There's women, there's children, there's families. Some people have spent thousands to go and watch that game. The eyes of the world are watching England and the way you behave and the way you represent people. And hundreds of England fans force their way into the stadium and sit in people's seats where people have bought tickets. And some people who bought tickets couldn't get into the stadium because of these people who'd taken their seats already. People were fighting inside the stadium. Some people who were there were angry because they've spent thousands. People spent up to £15,000 to get a ticket. And a man's running through a back door and sitting in your chair. And some people couldn't get in because of that. Embarrassing situation. England go on to lose the game. We'll talk about the football shortly. And then, of course, Sancho, Rashford and Saka miss a penalty, and then they're racially abused by so-called fans. So-called fans racially abuse them on social media. A week ago, when Sterling was scoring winning goals, man was throwing beer in the air when a black player scored a goal. This isn't about black or white. This is just about equality. This is about, I thought we was all the same. I thought England was a multicultural country. But no, they're only celebrated when they do well, but they're vilified when things go wrong. I've taken penalties in big games. I've never taken a penalty in a game of that level. It takes some serious cojones to step up and take a penalty in a game of that level. A lot of established older footballers didn't put their hand up to take a penalty yesterday. Rashford's 23, Sancho's 21, Saka is 19. They're barely adults in terms of Saka. They stepped up when a lot of people didn't. They missed the penalty. We feel terrible as fans. Imagine how they feel. Imagine how they feel. They feel responsible for that defeat. You go on social media and your so-called fans are racially abusing you. Like, come on. And let me just say one thing. This isn't everyone. This isn't everyone. A lot of people conducted themselves fine, enjoyed their game, you know, supported them the right way, and big up to all of you. This is aimed at those people who for some reason don't understand how to behave. It's 2021. England fans booed the Italian national anthem. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. Just, you don't support Italy, you don't have to boo it. You don't have to sing there and dance and cheer it, but you don't have to boo it. That's just blatant disrespect. They've got every right to support their country. They've travelled to watch their team. They're booing when the players took the knee. The knee is about equality. It's not about black or white. It's about everybody being treated the same, whether you're black, white, Asian, wherever you're from, Latin, anything. You're booing it. The Prime Minister of the country saying the players shouldn't be racially abused. Yet a few weeks ago, this guy was saying he doesn't agree with gestures like taking the knee before a game. Well, why don't you do something about it then? You're the leader of the country. You're the leader of the country, and you're basically saying that we shouldn't be doing anything to make things better because he ain't doing nothing about it. Marcus Rashford went toe-to-toe with this guy to make sure millions of underprivileged kids in this country were fed during a pandemic. This guy didn't want to feed the kids during the school holidays. Rashford campaigned for it, got companies to give up money, give up food, fed millions of kids while the Prime Minister swanned off on holiday. And you seen what Matt Hancock was doing. These men don't care. Rashford misses a penalty and all of a sudden, public enemy number one. Disgusted. And this why me, I've said this before, and I hope this doesn't offend people. A lot of the time over the years, I've been unable to connect with the national team because of things like this, because sometimes you don't feel a part of it. Even though you're born here and raised here, you think when push comes to shove, we're viewed as outsiders. Disgusted with a lot of the actions, man. And listen, like I said, football can't come home when that's how you behave in your home country. You know, we're only accepted when you're doing well, but as soon as things go wrong, chuck them to the side. They're not us. Go back to your own country. That's what they're saying in tweets. Social media, when are they going to take action? When are they going to force people to actually register identification to set up an account on social media? How come you can go on Twitter or on Instagram and set up an account and just racially abuse someone with no accountability? Nothing. They'll get rid of your account. You can set up another one in 10 minutes and do the same thing. Social media companies, they only care about money. They only care about the money. If you have to show ID, they'll lose millions of people on that platform because millions of people don't have ID. A lot of these people are kids on social media. They've got no identification. They only care about money. UEFA fined England more for that guy shining a laser pen at Kasper Schmeichel than when players were racially abused in the qualifiers, during the qualifiers. That's what UEFA think about racism. They don't care. Taking a day off social media, taking a weekend off social media, having a blackout, it's a gimmick. It comes from a place of, yeah, we want to make a change, but it makes no difference. Taking the knee before the game, Zaha was right. We're taking a knee and nothing's changed. What's the point doing it? We're trying to raise awareness, but nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, people. Big up to everyone in the comments. And I'm sorry to start the video this way because, you know, I'm a man, I don't really like to bring this kind of talk to a football platform, but I have to. I have to bring it up. I have to bring it up. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Surely we stand as one and we fall together, man. We win and lose together. They're not going to get another national tournament. They're not going to get to host a national tournament for a long time. It's as simple as that. They don't know how to behave. Not everyone, as I say. This is not aimed at everyone. Plenty of people, you know how to conduct yourself. You had fun. You was with your families. You watched your game. You conducted yourself properly. Big up to all of you. You know, you're what make England a great place. But the behavior that we saw yesterday, that's what makes England very wrong, unfortunately. Big up to all of you with your comments, man. Dominic said, this is why as a black man born and raised in Britain, I can't identify my so-called compatriots. It's not everyone, but they need to be smoked out. If not, people like me will feel segregated. Do you know what I mean? They don't. People don't mind multiculturalism when you go to the dentist and somebody from a different background sorts out your teeth, or you go to the hospital and the doctor and the nurse are from somewhere else and maybe they're not born in this country, but they're providing the country. So there are good people from so many different backgrounds in this country. That's what is supposed to make England great. But when things go wrong, the segregation comes, and a lot of the racism in this country is undercover and silent, and that's the problem. Pretend it's not as bad, but it's always there. It's always there, and I'm very upset with what's happened. I'm really unhappy about it. I'm really unhappy about it. And then I go on social media this morning and listen, I can see all your comments. Great comments. I do want to get through some of them as well. I'll click them on the screen, people, because something needs to be done. Do you know what it is? I'm sick of the gimmicks. I'm sick of it. Yeah, let's come off social media for 3 days. That'll change everything. No, you're going to come back in 3 days and the same thing's going to happen. Gary Neville said something great this morning on Sky. He said, I knew that was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. The Prime Minister of the country doesn't defend, this from happening. So, of course, it was going to happen. As soon as I saw Sancho, Rashford, Saka miss a penalty, I said, then man better turn the comments off because you know what's about to happen. You know what's about. And the fact we know and we understand it, that worries me even more because we expect it. And still nothing's going to happen about it. And it will happen next season. If Rashford misses a penalty or Saka misses or Sterling misses, it's going to happen again. Big up Daniel. He said, Curtis, I experience this on a weekly basis because of my disability. Big up Daniel. Go and check out his channel as well. It's not just about black or white. I want to make that clear. It's just about equality. It's just about equality. If you're providing good to the country and you're doing things right, why should you be seen as different because your skin's a bit darker? I don't get it. It baffles me. What baffles me is I'm kind of used to it. As wrong as that is, I'm used to it. But I've got children. I don't want them to experience this. Social media is becoming out of control. It's just wild. It's absolutely wild. Social media was set up for good reasons to connect with people worldwide who you haven't met and talk and interact. But it's become out of control. It's like a beast. And these people who own it, they don't care. They're just picking up the money, Big up Daniel, man. Big up Franny in the chat as well. Anyone subscribe to FFTV, you'll have seen him on my last 2 watch-alongs. Appreciate all the amazing numbers. I had over 500,000 views on the Copa America one and over 65,000 on the final last night. We will talk football shortly, I promise you. We want to talk football, but I had to start by talking about that. It had to be said. I can't ignore it. Liam said, Gareth said this morning in the press conference, majority of the abuse is from foreign accounts outside the UK. So they can track and know who is doing it. Social media is horrible. They need to do ID. And listen, I hear you on that and I respect that. But this ain't even just about social media because there were thousands of people in the country doing it, in Leicester Square, at Wembley. The social media stuff, yeah, like you said, clearly they can track who it is and block these accounts. There has to be identification shown to set up a platform. Otherwise, I just don't see anything changing. It's nothing more than a gimmick, and I've just had enough of it. I really have had enough of it. Camille, big up Camille with the super chat. He said, taking a knee is one thing, but almost no other country is doing it. Yet England is one mostly misbehaving. Gestures, in my country, no kneeling, banned for life. Do you know what I mean? They just don't take action. The FA, UEFA, FIFA, it doesn't affect them, let's be honest. And that's why they're not taking it too seriously. I always said that I didn't think players should ever walk off the football pitch. You're a professional footballer. You've got to that level. If you're racially abused inside a stadium, I always said, stand tall, don't walk off the pitch. But I genuinely think that players are going to have to walk off the pitch. If they're ever susceptible to this inside a stadium, I think they have to walk off the pitch and damage the brand of UEFA, of FIFA. If it's a big Champions League game and a player's abused, I think the players have to walk off and say, we're not continuing with this game. The only way you affect these companies is to hurt their pocket. Money is the only thing that bothers these people. Unfortunately, they don't really care about racism because it doesn't affect their pocket. That's the sad reality of it, people. Lee said, Curtis, social media is killing the world. People can't talk no more. It's sad. Face-to-face skills, people. Do you know what I mean? a lot of people now struggle to talk face to face because they communicate via social media so much. Like I said, it was set up for positive reasoning, but it's got out of control. There's no control there. Who is managing it? How come there's no age restriction? How come you don't have to show identification? You can go and set up 15 accounts and say whatever you want. It's absolutely wild. Big up South London's finest. He said, same, I only ever owned one England kit and I was a youth. I'm going to be real. Growing up, the England flags tattered on man's skin and around houses meant to me run EDL members. And it's sad that it's viewed that way because it isn't actually all that way. You know, there are a lot of people who put out England flags and they're just England fans proud of their country. And they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. But the stereotype that we've built up in our head because of the way we've been treated, it tells us that yo, this guy's got an England tattoo on his leg, or, you know, he's got flags hanging out the window. Yo, maybe it's a little bit dodgy around there. This is the what society has built up for us, man. It's crazy because England is such a multicultural place, but still there are a lot of problems. And I feel that social media is taking it to a place where, you know, a lot of these people are cowards. They can say anything. It's some little guy behind a computer screen. He knows nothing's going to come back. It's crazy. It's mad. It's out of control. And like I said, we will talk football, but I have to address these things because how can I just accept it and sit here in silence? I got kids. I got kids who play football. Are they going to be, you know, putting up with this in 10 years' time? How are they going to fix it? Talking about it ain't doing nothing. This is what I've had enough of. A lot of people with big platforms and who can influence these things, they're not doing enough, in my opinion. You know, force the government. I see this petition is out this morning saying force the government to make people set up social media with identification. That needs to get millions of votes, you know, or signatures or whatever, and force it to happen. Big up Brooklyn Quincy said hypocrisy in football. Anana gets a 1-year ban for a mistake, and the guy that abused Glenn Kamara gets a few games off, and it's all good. Exactly. There you go. You know, when it affects them, they'll do more about it. Big up Fran. Make sure you go and check out FFTV, people. And just want to say thank you to Fran for joining me on the last 2 watch-alongs. Been brilliant, man. Really appreciate it. He said, black players should boycott playing for England until something has been done, and then you'll see the value of immigration. Something's got to happen, and it's got to be drastic. It really has to be drastic because we're going round in circles, you know. And like I said, this isn't just about black players, but nothing's changing. You know, you should be able to represent your country and not be susceptible to that. You know, it's bad enough going to certain other countries and getting that abuse. You're getting it inside your own country, man. It's crazy. Seb said, remember, over 80% of the England team are sons of immigrants, and this is how we are treated. They are only English when they are winning, 100%. And I saw that picture as well. I think they said only 3 England players or something was pure English background. You know, they've got family from, you know, different places in Europe, in the UK, worldwide, you know, the Caribbean. We got players with African heritage, Asian heritage, you know, Ireland, Scotland. Like this whole theory that, you know, English only means white. If you're black, you're not English. These guys are born in England. They're representing, they're doing something positive. They're paying tax in England, you know. And like I said, it's not just black, it's all races. So I don't get it. I just don't understand it. You're celebrating a week before Raheem Sterling when he scores, and a week later players are being abused. But like you said, Boris is the leader of this country, and look at that guy's attitude, you know. Look how much of a hypocrite that guy is. But crazy. I'm in support for government enforcing social identity. It's the only way forward. You know, it's the only way forward. And like Gary Neville said, I expected it. And that tells you everything that's wrong with society. We knew we were going to wake up this morning and see that. And it will happen again, unfortunately. But BG said we are close to 30K. Yeah, listen, people, really appreciate a lot of new subscribers over the weekend, close to 30,000. And listen, big up to everyone who's been supporting the channel from day one. And listen, we're all together, man. We're all together. One thing I say here, we got a great community in here. Um, we got a great positive community and we conduct ourselves properly here. So I appreciate all of your support. The final thing I'm going to say on this before we talk about football, and I am sorry to talk about it and, add to, listen, a lot of England fans are just hurt that we lost the game and you've got every right to. So I apologize to add this to it, but it has to be brought up. I mean, Marcus Rashford, there was this big mural of him in Manchester that was drawn because of, the influence that he'd had in getting, millions of kids in this country fed during a pandemic where money was tight, where pay cuts, furlough, families struggling to live above the breadline and feed their kids, and the prime minister of the country doesn't want to feed them. But money, millions is being put into, they spent over $1 billion on an app, track and trace app, that didn't really have a big influence. But then they don't want to feed the kids. Last night after the game, racial abuse was written on this mural of Marcus Rashford in Manchester. And a group of women actually covered it up with these little plastic covers. And I think they've actually added love hearts to it as well, which you can't see on this picture here. It happened after. But fans wrote racial abuse. And when you look at the words, what are actually on it, Rashford says, take pride in knowing that your struggle will play the biggest role in your purpose. You have fed the country. You are a national hero, in my opinion. Forget you as a footballer. I'm just judging you as a man, and you're a young man, 23 years of age. At 23, I didn't have too much figured out at 23. This guy is a seriously, wise young man who could just sit there on his 150 grand a week and think, I'm living good, man. I don't need to worry about these broke kids who can't eat. I'm just saying the truth. But this guy, kid, fed millions, went toe-to-toe with Boris, spoke to companies, made a change, made a difference. We criticize footballers when they just spend money on cars and jewelry and this, that, the other. This guy took the time to care about his country and his environment. And, and this is what he gets back because he missed a penalty. I've seen Messi miss penalties. I've seen Ronaldo miss penalties. We've seen some of the best footballers ever miss penalties. But Rashford missed a penalty and that happens. But, what can we do, people? We are where we are. Society is where it is. And, it's a real shame. It's a real shame that it rears its ugly head again. It's something that doesn't really disappear. It just goes below the surface. And it is what it is. But listen, there we go. The end of the talk, the end of the rant. It had to happen. I wasn't going to come on here shouting and swearing, but I have to speak about it. Even the platform I have to talk about it. I can't sit there and just accept that, because the reality is, and I know people don't like these kind of expressions, but life goes on. You wake up today, we've all got to do what we got to do. We've all got to go to work. We've all got to look after our families. We've all got to eat, and football moves on, and listen, it will move on. I've enjoyed the Euros. I think it ended very bad. We'll talk about the game now, actually. Forget that I've even come on here to talk about football. England obviously lost on penalties. They drew 1-1 with Italy in the game. A lot of people were saying, I'm really proud of the players. I'm really proud of the team and the manager. I get it to a certain point. You brought some joy to the nation during a pandemic when things have been very difficult for a lot of people and people have been very down. I just look at it, and I don't know how everyone else looks at it, and I want your opinions on this. I just think that England missed the best opportunity they have ever had of winning a trophy since winning it in '66, when I wasn't even born. I can't help but feel like what an opportunity we've just missed. I don't understand what Gareth Southgate did yesterday. I don't understand it. I really don't. You had such an unbelievable opportunity of winning that game. You had Italy on the ropes. You went 1-0 up after 2 minutes and you just retreated. You pulled the troops back and said, let's try and hang on to this 1-0 for the rest of the game. For the remaining 88 minutes, we're going to hang on to this 1-0. Why? Why did he do that? He went with 5 at the back, which I didn't agree with, but it worked because we went 1-0 up. Trippier to Shaw, the 2 wing-backs, we scored. Italy were rattled. Their players were arguing. Mancini was flinging up arms. He was vexed. He was not happy. Immobile, their top striker, did nothing again. He hasn't been great in the tournament. Chiesa came off injured. He's one of their best players. Insigne came off with tired legs. They've played extra time now in 3 of their last 4 games. They were there to be beaten. If England would have scored the second goal, I genuinely believed England would be champions of Europe this morning if they scored that second goal. But they didn't. They sat back. Harry Kane, who... What shall I say about Harry Kane? He's a top striker, but he was absolutely shocking yesterday. And I have to put some of that blame down to the manager. He played in this false 9 role that we've seen Lacazette playing a lot for Arsenal. And it didn't work. He couldn't run. I said during the stream with Franny yesterday, he looked like he had a caravan on his back. He could not move. It's the worst game of the whole tournament that I've seen from Harry Kane. He didn't have a shot on goal for the whole game. He didn't shoot. He didn't have a shot off target or on target in the whole game. Would you see Lewandowski coming that deep to get the ball? Would you see any other top striker coming that deep to get the ball? How is he supposed to score goals if he's playing in midfield? Italy made changes. They freshened it up. They took big players off. Mancini didn't care about the repercussions. He took off Verratti. He took off Barella, Chiesa, Immobile, Insigne. He changed the entire front 3 and 2 of their midfielders. He didn't care about the repercussions. Come off, you're tired or you're not playing well. Freshened it up. We had the best bench probably in the whole tournament. Rashford, Sancho, Foden, Saka, Henderson, Champions League winners, Chilwell, Reece James. How much more quality do you need to make a change and make a difference? And he didn't want to make the tough decisions. He made the easy decisions. I'll bring on Grealish for Mount. I'll take off Rice. They're easy guys to take off. They haven't got huge reputations. Should Sterling have come off? I don't think Sterling played great yesterday. Went on a few good runs. There was no end product. Harry Kane was having an absolute stinker. The role that you was trying to use him in didn't work. You played Mason Mount left wing. Why? Why? You've got Grealish, Saka, Sancho, Rashford. 4 wingers who are better wingers than Mason Mount. You play Mason Mount left wing. Italy's weakness was their fullbacks, and you've played an attacking midfielder on one of the wings, and Mason Mount did nothing. And why was Mason Mount on the pitch for so long? Why did he not get dragged after 60, 70 minutes? He played over 90 minutes. He did nothing. So frustrating from Southgate. You know, being a centre-back and being a defender, I think it just got the better of him. Big up Camille with a super chat. For most of the Italian players, their last big tournament, England is mostly a fresh squad. I remember when Chelsea lost their first UEFA Champions League with United, heads up, they will be back. I hear you, Camille, and I appreciate your words of support and stuff. But you need a manager that can get the best out of them. You know, Chelsea, 9 times out of 10, had a top-level manager to go along with that talent on the bench. Southgate has got all that talent, but he doesn't know how to use it. Look at the season Phil Foden has just had for Manchester City. Barely done anything in this tournament. I look at Mason Mount, Champions League winner, outstanding in the Champions League final. Barely done anything in this tournament. Jack Grealish, 100 million bid from Manchester City. Not done much in this tournament. Not played much either. Rashford, who I think has carried an injury a lot of this season, but we know he's talented. He's hardly kicked a ball. Jadon Sancho just signed for United for £72 million. He played against Ukraine. He's hardly kicked a ball apart from that. Kane, I don't think, has had a great tournament. Couple goals against Ukraine. Did all right against... he scored against Germany. Didn't even play great. Kane has not had a great tournament. Sterling's done well. I thought he was poor yesterday. Why are the attacking players struggling under this manager? You look at the manager that's won the tournament, he's possibly the best manager in the tournament. It's no coincidence. The probably second best manager in the tournament as well, one of the best, is Luis Enrique. If he had a better striker, I think they'd have been in the final yesterday. He just didn't have a good enough striker to win it with Spain. So I just think with Southgate, he's hit his ceiling. I think England just had a tournament with 6 home games. We're playing Denmark in a semi-final, Ukraine in a quarter-final. When are they going to get a run like that? In future, they'll probably book a France, an Italy in the World Cup, maybe a Brazil, an Argentina. I don't think they'll get over the finish line against those sort of teams. I think this was the opportunity. Let's get one thing clear. Italy have been very good in this tournament. I've been really impressed with them. I never expected them to win the tournament, being that they didn't even qualify for the last World Cup. But they were beatable yesterday at 1-0. They were rattled. But England retreated and stopped attacking and allowed Italy to play their way into the game. Italy had over 60% possession. At one stage, it was 71% possession. England just sat back. They pushed their wing-backs back. We had 5 in defence, plus the goalkeeper, that's 6, plus 2 holding midfielders, that's 8. Kane's dropping in as well, that's 9. You've got Mount out wide and Sterling out wide. You've got 9 players almost defending. You know, how are you meant to score a goal? I just don't understand the philosophy. Big up Akeem, man. He said Italy deserved it. England in-game play is awful. To say they got one of the best teams on paper. You know, Gareth. If I'm in that interview with Gareth this morning, I'm saying, Gareth, 1-0 up, Italy on the ropes, all that attacking talent. Why did England not go for it? Why did England never look like scoring after scoring that first goal? Why did Harry Kane not get a shot? Why was he not in the penalty area when crosses were being put in? I don't understand it, and it's painful. And like I said, I'm proud of the players and the manager for uplifting the country, for getting to the final. I think they're a great group of players. I see a real togetherness. I think they really care about each other. It's not like 20 years ago when Ferdinand's saying the players didn't like each other because of the rivalry at club level. I don't see that. I see a group of players that care about each other and can grow. But at the same time, I think a big problem in England is we have to stop celebrating failure. Ultimately, England failed, right? Ultimately, England have failed. They didn't win the tournament. The tournament was basically in England. Every England game was at home with fans. We had a very easy run. We played Ukraine, we played Denmark, we played a Germany that was fading, and we played an Italian team in the final. We should have won the tournament. I think all this patting you on the back when you've lost we have to kind of balance that out a little bit and say, do you know what? Yeah, you did well to get to the final, but you should have won it. And not winning it shouldn't be overly celebrated. Yeah, credit, you gave your best. It wasn't good enough. But let's actually look and say, why did England not win that tournament? Why haven't they won the tournament? Because they should have won that tournament, in my opinion. You know, UEFA, the route that we got to the final, I'm sorry, you have to win that tournament. Chiellini said it before the game. England should win this tournament. 6 games at home, 60,000 England fans. The bench is unbelievable. That bench yesterday is worth 400 million. 400 million. You know, Grealish got 100 million offer. There's 100 mil. Sancho, 75, 72. There's 170 mil. Rashford would go for 60 mil, 70 mil, 250 there. Reece James was linked with City for 50 mil. There's 300. Chilwell cost 50 mil. You know, Foden would cost 70. You've probably got $500 million on the bench. You know, there's no excuse for not, you know, winning that tournament, in my opinion, with that run. Anthony, big up for the super chat, bro. Said, fully agree with you, see. Missed a huge opportunity last night. Southgate will never get us over the line. He's reactive and not proactive and too cautious even when reactive. Get Gerrard in ASAP. I mean, I think Gerrard is a much more attacking manager. I just think Gerrard wants club football I don't think he would be interested in the England job. And to me, I think the biggest regret in life that you can have is not going for an opportunity. If you've got an opportunity, go for it. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure's part of life, it's part of sport. I would have rather woke up this morning and thought, we've hit the post twice. Donnarumma's made 3 unbelievable saves. We went for it. We got caught on the counter-attack and we lost. Sometimes as a manager, as a fan, as a player, you just have to accept that. What I think is bad is just sitting there and going, do you know what? We didn't really go for it. Harry Kane's got £100 million offer from Manchester City. He hasn't had a shot. Why? Why is that? That is because of the tactics. That is because of the tactics. He doesn't want to play as deep as that. Surely he wants to be in the penalty area when crosses are being put in. Big up Camille. He said, it is not club football. You might be great, but need experience. Italy now. CR7 needed time with Portugal. Now Messi. Fruits need to mature. Listen, Camille, I love your optimism, right? I really love your optimism. You're making me, you're giving me a little bit of belief that England can bounce back. But sometimes that opportunities fall to you at times when you least expect it. And I think those who are successful are the ones who can take it. Even if we're looking at England going, oh, they're young and they'll get better. But then Brazil might get better. France might get better. And we might not ever get that opportunity in front of the fans. Next year, the World Cup's in Qatar. Fran was saying yesterday, it'll be 25, 30 degrees. That's still hot for England. Different climate. You won't have many England fans over there. We'll probably run into harder opposition than what we've just ran into in the Euros. So whilst I get you that we can grow it and maybe win it at a later date, like Jahia saying here, France lost in 2016, won it in 2018. They've got absolute world beaters on the pitch. They got N'Golo Kante, they've got Mbappe, they got Pogba. I always feel like they were preparing to win it. They were ready to win it. In Deschamps, he's not an overly defensive coach either. France will attack. I just worry with Southgate because of the style and the philosophy and the system. Is he open-minded enough to say, do you know what? I have to be more attacking. I have to play on the front foot a little bit more. I just feel like we missed a huge opportunity. And I think if he'd have been a bit braver, that England could have won that game and been the champions of Europe. Let's see. Oh, man, I didn't even see that. 1,600 people in the chat. Really appreciate your support on this Monday. I should have actually called the show England Therapy because it's gone from Arsenal Therapy to England Therapy. I actually woke up this morning I had a bit of a headache almost from the game. I thought, do you know what? I'll just take Arsenal right now, Mikel Arteta and his madness over this because this is proper stressful, but it is what it is. It had to be spoken about. And of course, England missed a huge opportunity. They were beaten. Italy won on penalties. I always felt nervous when it went to penalties, man. Donnarumma, 6'6". He's massive in goal. He must look like an absolute giant when you're about to take a penalty. And England missed their 3 penalties. I want to quickly talk about the penalty takers and the situation with the penalties. We missed 3 out of 5 penalties yesterday. And obviously people are talking about Saka, 19 years of age, taking the 5th penalty. Now, like I say, most managers will ask the players who wants to take a penalty because as a manager, the last thing in the world you want to do is force a player to take a penalty who doesn't feel like taking it. Oh, yeah, there will be Arsenal topics. Don't worry. We will go on to Arsenal. So he obviously asked who wants to take a penalty. Now, Saka's 19. Sometimes when you're younger in life, you don't see the fear in things. I remember I went to a water park abroad when I was about 14 on holiday. And I'm going on all these big rides and, the biggest slide and climbing up on these mad slides. I went back there when I was about 25 or something. And I remember I'm going up the steps and I'm going, oh, this looks a bit high. And what if they never screwed that part of the slide down properly and all? Them kind of things come into your head when you get older. You look at the whole safety aspect of things. Saka at 19, he's had a great season for Arsenal, player of the season. He's gone to England. He's won man of the match a couple times. He's done well. The players love him. Everyone loves him. He's probably thinking, yo, man, I'm slapping this penalty in. I feel good right now. I'm going to take this penalty, man. I'm not worried about this. What my problem was with that situation was the fifth penalty is the pressure cooker, because two things are happening on that fifth penalty. You're probably taking it to keep your team in the competition, or you're taking it to win the game. Cristiano Ronaldo loves that fifth penalty because you're the hero if you score it. But if it goes the opposite and your team haven't done well in the build-up to your fifth penalty, you're under more pressure than anybody has ever seen. And that's what happened. I was shocked that Rashford missed his penalty. But as I said before, I don't think Gareth Southgate managed them too right. To me, you don't bring players on for 2 minutes to take a penalty. I think you've got to give them 15, 20 minutes, settle into the game, kick the ball a few times. It's crazy. Every football feels different. Just that slight bit different. The way it hits your foot, it just feels that little bit different. Imagine the first time you kick the ball is a penalty shootout with all them fans, with that giant in goal. I need to kick the ball 5 or 6 times first before I take that penalty. You know, and Rashford did a bit of a crazy run-up. It was like a stuttered run-up. He's actually waiting for Donnarumma to commit. And the crazy thing is, Donnarumma goes the wrong way and he drags it and hits the penalty. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know, amazing as well that, like you said, Joshua, Maguire. When I see Maguire stepping up to take a penalty, I'm like, wow. I've never seen Maguire shoot. I've never seen him hit a ball with technique. He just slaps it in the top corner. And I was like, I got to respect that guy. That's real leadership. Big centre-back said, listen, man, I'll show my cojones. I'll take a penalty. You know what I mean? Question marks are being asked. And I don't want to throw this on players and make it look critical of them. I think people are asking Jack Grealish, Raheem Sterling, Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's been taking free kicks. Jack Grealish, you would expect to be able to take a penalty. Sterling has taken penalties for City. People are kind of saying, you're an experienced player, you're a bigger player. Maybe you should have stepped in front of Saka and said, Bukayo, I'll take it. I'll take this penalty, man. You know, and because I'm the older player, I've been in this pressure cooker. You just stay back. Kyle Walker was taken off. Kyle Walker was substituted, so he couldn't take it. Yeah, I did see that. Grealish tweeted saying that he wanted to take a penalty and the manager didn't pick him, which, again, question marks. Why was he not selected if he asked? Fair play to Grealish for addressing that. Henderson came off. He clearly didn't want to take a penalty. He must have missed. He missed a penalty in the build-up to the Euros, so maybe he looked at it like he wasn't good at penalties. But it just seemed a strange situation. Luke Shaw's been taking free kicks. You know, Calvin Phillips, centre midfielder. You know, you'd expect a centre mid. He's got decent technique. But it is what it is. They were poor penalties. It doesn't matter sometimes how good you are as a footballer. A penalty is a unique situation in football. You can have the most unbelievable technique in the world. That pressure is totally, totally different to anything else. That's why you've seen the likes of Messi and Ronaldo miss penalties in the past, because the pressure is just totally different. So, now listen, big up. I see a few Italian fans in here. I'm not going to ignore your comments, you know, as well. Listen, Italy, they managed the game well. I believe over the course of 120 minutes, they were the better team. I think they deserve to lift the trophy. They've shocked me in this tournament, how good they were. They got a great manager. I would actually take him as the Arsenal manager, but that's a whole different conversation. And congratulations to Italy, man. I think they conducted themselves well in this tournament. I think they managed the game a lot better than England did. And England will have to bounce back. The World Cup is next year. Can they grow from it? Can they learn from it? And let's see what happens. Donnarumma was named player of the tournament after the game. 2 penalty shootout victories. So he'll be considered a hero and kept a number of clean sheets, 3 clean sheets. He's just signed for PSG, so his confidence will be sky high. Bonucci and Chiellini, just unbelievable defensively. Did we ask enough questions of them? For me, no. I think putting crosses in the air for Bonucci and Chiellini is light work. They're built for that. Get them on the floor, move them around, make life difficult. They're mid-30s. I don't think we asked enough questions of them, but they are great defenders. So big up to them. Pedri was named Young Player of the Tournament. What a player, 18 years of age. And Pickford got the Golden Glove, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Well, Ronaldo actually won the Golden Boot, Tim, because I think he played one game less than Patrick Schick. So Ronaldo won the Golden Boot. That's it. That's the end of my Euros talk, people. That's the end of the Euros talk. You know what? I have no plans to really talk about England for the foreseeable future now. Something I never thought I'd say 2 months ago after such a bad season. Let's get back to Arsenal. Yeah. Let's get back to Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, and the crazy press conferences, and you know, a bit of Arsenal news coming out tonight. So we will talk Arsenal today. Sorry, and let's just focus on it, man. Let's put it all behind us. Jamaica actually kick off in the Gold Cup today. I will be keeping an eye on that. I don't think I'll be live streaming that, to be honest. Maybe in the latter rounds I'll get into it. Reggie said there's a difference between agreeing to take a pen and insisting on taking one before the kid. No senior stood up against the orders of the taker. And you're right, this is what I'm saying. Even if he puts his hand up, I want someone more experienced to stand in front of him and say, I'm taking it. You go to 7 or 8, do you know what I'm saying, on the list. So yeah, totally agree with your thoughts there. Big up South London's finest. On a positive note, Hector Bellerin. Hecky B. I feel like I haven't seen these players for a long time, to be fair, or even spoken about them. He is with the Arsenal team at the moment, Hector Bellerin, as Arsenal prepare to travel to Scotland. They're going on tour to Scotland now. They play against Hibernian and Rangers this week on tour. Di Marcio, the big Italian, obviously, reports are saying Hector Bellerin has asked to leave Arsenal. Apparently, Hector Bellerin has asked for Arsenal to get the deal done with Inter Milan. Now, Inter Milan have asked to take Bellerin on loan with an option to buy him next season. Now, there's no way we can let a player like Hector Bellerin, whether I rate him or not, he's got a bit of a reputation. There's no way that Hector Bellerin can be allowed to go on loan with an option to buy. So a year they could send him back. If we're going to loan him, there's got to be an obligation that in a year's time, they buy him for 20 mil with no questions asked, whether he gets injured, whatever. There's no escape. You have to buy him. Inter are skint at the moment. They did sell Hakimi for over 60 million to PSG, but they're skint. They're in debt. They haven't got money to spend, so they want him on the cheap. Now, as you've said here, they are looking at Zappacosta, and I think Chelsea would allow Zappacosta to go there on the cheap. If this is his biggest option, I would actually let him go on loan if there was an obligation to buy him for 20 million, because I think his wage is so big that I just don't think many clubs in Europe will pay it. Only big clubs, the top clubs in Europe, can afford to pay Bellerin 110 grand a week. I don't think you'll find a bigger team than Inter Milan are interested in Bellerin. So if I was Arsenal, I'd take the opportunity while it's there. 20 mil. You know, give us a couple of million up front and you have to pay 20 mil for him next season. I would actually take it because I think we're going to end up stuck with him. Abhinav said Zappacosta wages are very low compared to Hector, and that's the issue. I do think Bellerin is the number one choice, but I think they would happily take Zappacosta, you know, and they'll get him cheaper. He's Italian. And some people are saying, yeah, I can see us getting stuck with Bellerin if we're not careful, because Arsenal clearly want big money for him alongside a big wage, which is not easy for a guy that has not played well for a long time. Darren said, take the money and run. Amsterdam, Thailand, 20 million for Dua Lipa is crazy. I would take 15 million. I doubt anyone will pay more. HSN said, Curtis, I love your channel, but I wanted England to lose just to see an end to the arrogance and pretentious of some English fans who think England deserve better than this. Sorry, bro. Listen, your opinion's your opinion, man. There's nothing wrong with you having that opinion. I saw Bonucci and Chiellini saying they wanted to win because the football's coming home song motivated them. Bafana, option to buy FC, no obligation. There has to be an obligation Curtis, is top four the priority? It should be. It definitely should be. But the way this football club is, you know, you're probably looking at top six more than top four. Let's keep it 100. But yeah, people, we are back to Arsenal. I just wanted to let you know this as well. Arsenal's first preseason game is tomorrow. Arsenal play Hibernian. Tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I will be doing a live watch along. Arsenal against Hibernian at Hibernian's ground in Scotland. Unfortunately, no Arsenal fans can go. I would have definitely travelled to that game if we were allowed to. But unfortunately, no away fans are allowed to travel. But I will be live streaming it. So 6 o'clock. I'll probably get on from 5:30 tomorrow, people. Arsenal are charging £7 for fans to watch the game on the website, which I think is disgraceful again. But apparently, if you've got a membership, I think you get the game for free. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it said if you're a member, you get the game for free. If you're not a member, you have to pay £7. So for anyone who is a member, Arsenal website will be showing the game, 6 o'clock kickoff against Hibernian. If you're not a member, £7. In fact, it says here it's £7.99, so basically £8. But I will be doing a watch along. I will get on tomorrow at about 5:30, half an hour build up, and we'll start at 6 o'clock kickoff. A number of players are on tour: Aubameyang, Lacazette, Thomas Partey, Hector Bellerin. A lot of guys are there. So, yeah, I know money. They want the money again, man. It's not nice. I think, you know, again, when Arsenal have opportunities to show the fans, listen, this isn't about money. I realize it's a business, but they spend enough money. Surely, man, a pre-season friendly, you allow the fans to watch it for free. Just whack it on YouTube, man. Why are you charging fans to watch a pre-season friendly that's not even on television? But this is Arsenal, I'm afraid. They don't seem to see the value in fans a lot of the time, unfortunately. Roy said that's a joke. £7. Arsenal bleed their fans. Most other clubs free on YouTube for friendlies, and I've seen it loads of times with other clubs putting friendlies on YouTube for free. And by the way, it's £7.99 per game in pre-season. I think we play 6 or 7 games, so that mounts up over the course of a month, you know, which I don't agree with that at all. Big up the Green Gooner. Thank you very much for the super chat, bro. Really appreciate your support on this channel. Big up Big C. Glad you're addressing this. As a white male in his 30s, I don't know what it's like to be racially abused, but what I saw on Twitter last night is nothing short of vile. It's 2021. How is this still happen? Again, and listen, I really appreciate your comment. And listen, we need education. We need to teach people. We need to improve as people. And, you know, we need there to be accountability for the people that do this. Until those two things happen, I don't see things improving much. But listen, really appreciate your super chat, bro. Saying, yeah, I will be doing a watch along. 5:30 tomorrow, I'll be on for a 6 p.m. kickoff, UK time, Hibernian against Arsenal. And then on Saturday, just to give you a bit of a forward planning so you can plan, we play Rangers. This will be a better game. Glasgow Rangers, champions of Scotland. Steven Gerrard, the manager. 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday at Ibrox in Scotland. Rangers against Arsenal. I'll be live from 1:30 on Saturday for that one for a 2 p.m. kickoff. Again, £7.99 for any fans who want to watch that game. If you're not a member, if you're a member, red member or higher, you will get that game for free. But if you're not a member, then it will cost you £8. And like you said, £8 to watch our star signings, you know, one signing, which is Nuno Tavares will be available, I hear, for both games. Whether Lokonga will make the second game, I'm not sure. From what we're hearing, reports are now that Lokonga will not play any of these 2 games. So, yeah, £8 to watch Nuno Tavares. Big up Akeem, he said, Arsenal fans should do a GoFundMe for the club, try raise 100 million. Bro, we got 17 million followers on Twitter. You know, £5 each. give the club 100 million and say, listen, no excuse, but you've got to spend all of it. You know, I'd happily spend £5 every summer to give Arsenal 100 million to spend on top of what they've got. Imagine if a club actually did that. Listen, we need you all to just give us £5 so we can spend 200 million or something. I would give them £5. I think every fan would probably give them £5. But hey, it wouldn't surprise me if Arsenal reached out and tried to do that. But it is what it is. So yeah, just to let you know, people, tomorrow 6 p.m. kickoff. I'll be live from 5:30, and Saturday 2 p.m. kickoff. I'll be live from 1:30. We'll be doing a watch along. Hibernian away, and then Rangers away, and of course the week after we fly to America. I'm really hoping that there's some sort of announcement in the next week regarding travel to the US from England. Listen, I really want to go to America and watch that tour in America. But at the moment, there's still this travel ban between the UK and America. So we'll have to see. Hopefully, your President Biden will agree to open up the borders and allow people from the UK to travel. I would love to get over to Orlando and watch Arsenal over there. Alfred said, I will just catch the highlights on YouTube. Yeah, listen, why not, man? I don't blame people. I don't blame people for not spending $7.99 on a friendly, man. A lot of these big clubs, they allow friendlies to be seen for free on YouTube. But Arsenal, again, Kroenke, you know, $7.99 to watch a game, a friendly, man. It's out of order, in my opinion. I know they're trying to make money, but they need to look after the fans, man. Smash a like on the video if you haven't already, people. We've got 1,600 of you still in here. Really appreciate it. If we can get 1,000 likes. And you know what? We're well on our way to 30,000 subscribers. My aim was 30,000 by the start of the Premier League season. And we're 22 subscribers away from 29,000. So if we can hit that today, that would be great. And then, you know, I think we can hit that 1,000 before the season starts. So I really appreciate all of your support. Yeah, Biden, come on, man. Open them borders, man. Arsenal fans, let us come over there. If he opens the borders and we can travel, we got what? I think the tournament starts on the 25th of July. So we got about 13 days. If he opens it up before then, I'd love to travel, you know, and go and watch Arsenal over there. Big up, Sir Michael. He said, big up from Kingston, Jamaica. Big up, bro. 100K subs, home reveal stream, Curtis. Oh, man, do you know what? 35K before the season, Jake says, I would love that, bro. I would love that. It'd be great. Craig said, Curtis, you and Fran did unbelievable watch along last night. Big respect to you both. Thank you very much, bro. Appreciate it. A bit more news. Listen, they're charging us $7.99 to watch preseason friendlies. But Arsenal, this is their big news, mate. Forget new signings. This is their big news of the week. Arsenal will launch their new home kit for the 2021-22 season at the end of this week, and will wear it for the first time against Rangers on Saturday. Here we go, people. New kit, new home kit. I think we've seen a few leaks of that kit. I think we've got a general idea of what that kit's going to look like. It's kind of the copy and paste of the Ajax kit with the blue down the side. I think it's based on an old kit that we had during kind of the Nicolas Anelka period. And that'll be out this week. I believe the new kit's about £70. So, you know, it's not cheap. It's not cheap, but it's out this week. It's grown on me a little bit, but as I said, people, and listen, you lot know me. I buy kits when I want to buy kits. I don't want to buy no Arsenal kit right now. I'm in no mood to buy an Arsenal kit. I feel like they're rip-off merchants. They haven't bought anyone apart from a left-back who, you know, loves his dogs. That ain't enough to get me to go and buy a new kit right now at £70. For anyone who hasn't seen the kit, this is the kit. It's all right. It's grown on me a little bit. If we'd signed a few players, I might have had a look at it. At the moment, I'm not interested in it. I'm really not interested in it. £70, you know, no signings. One signing. you're charging fans for pre-season friendlies. I'm in no rush. Maybe when the season starts, if we've spent money. It's one of them kits, right? I always say with kits, man, you only remember the kits you're successful in anyway. You know, we've had great kits for the last couple of years. We've won nothing. I don't care about them kits. They're in a bag. You know, I'll probably wear them to the gym and that's it. If we do well, man said, Arsenal. I'm telling you, copy and paste. I think Adidas have probably sat there and thought, you know what, for 2 years, we've put in work to design you some, you know, the bruised banana kit and nice home kits, nice third kits. And you, man, are finishing 8th. This year is straight copy and paste. Delete the Ajax badge, delete the sponsor, and just put Arsenal on there, and that's it. And that's what we've got, really. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys planning on buying this kit? Do you like it? I've seen some people saying they don't really like it. There's nothing to it. Some people are saying they do like it. You know, it's based on an old kit as well. And we'll have to see. But yeah, the new home kit is out this week. And Arsenal will play in that on Saturday against Rangers. And I think the third kit is due to be released a couple of weeks later. Here's the third kit. It's based on the bruised banana, but in blue with like a hint of like light blue. And I think there's like a hint of silver on it as well. I'm not going to lie. I kind of like this kit. But again, no decent players. Nothing to excite me. Go and sign some players, man. Give us something that we can get excited about. No one's got any excitement at the moment for Arsenal. These kits. So I think sales will be down. I got to be honest. I think sales will be down. I think a lot of people are in that same situation where it's like, I've got no enthusiasm to spend money on that kit, even if you think it's a nice kit. So yeah, for me, I do like this third kit. I'm not going to lie. I think it's got a bit of style about it and stuff. Jansen said, don't really fancy any of them kits, to be fair. All this kit is a rip-off. Fashion FC. That blue kit looks better. As a rival fan, that's a decent kit. I think it is just at that point now, innit, where Arsenal fans are like, listen, man, forget the kits. Forget all of that. We just want a good team on the football pitch. Nothing else really excites us no more. You know, the kit don't excite me no more. I'll just wear the old kits if that's the case. Instead of fly better, that shirt needs to say play better. Big up Alfred, man, with a super chat. You're right. Arsenal play better. Not, you know what I mean? Not Emirates fly better. These lot, man, just straight money settings in it, man. Play better. Exactly that. Let's have a look at some transfer news before we get out of here. This is what we all want to know. We want to know, who are we going to sign? How do we improve this football team? The only way we improve this football team is by signing players. It's the only way. Nothing else is going to help us. Now, the AFC Bell, the famous Bell, who gets a lot of his information right. Brilliant account, I've got to be honest. He obviously made this comment the other day, put out this tweet about James Maddison. Information that they have, James Maddison's camp expects a move and an attempt from Arsenal in the coming weeks to sign the player. The club, through its lobbying and back channels, offered James Maddison a 4-year plus 1-year contract, a salary nearly double what he earns at Leicester, and the opportunity to wear the iconic number 10 shirt. James Maddison, according to reports, has been offered £200,000 a week to join Arsenal. And apparently he's very interested here. You know, he's come from Norwich. He's been at Leicester. He had a bit of a fallout last season with Brendan Rodgers, led to him being benched a little bit. And I think he would take the move to Arsenal. It's believed Leicester want between 60 and 70 million. Do you believe that James Maddison is worth £60 million and 200 grand a week? I want to know your opinion. You know, do you think he's good enough? Would you be happy with signing James Maddison for 60 million and giving him 200 grand a week. Listen, desperate times require desperate measures. Sometimes you have to overpay for players when you're not in Europe, because you haven't got that pulling power. But is he worth it? Would you be happy for him in that number 10 role? Spec said Leicester will ask for 75 million. PG says no way, he's not happy at all. Not a chance, says Lone Star. Joshua said 200k per week. No wonder he's interested. Exactly. This is the appeal at the moment, isn't it? Darren said it's not my money, just get him. I'd pay 60 mil for Maddison. He's a baller. Get him in ASAP. He's a 30 to 35 mil, but Leicester would want double. 60 or 55 million, 170 grand a week. Akeem, my brethren, said, no, is he having the effect Aubameyang and Sanchez had when they come? No, he's not. No chance. But at that time, we were Champions League. So we didn't have to use money as the selling, power to get a player to come to the club. We were getting Aubameyang to come and get us back into the Champions League, win the Europa League. Arsene Wenger was the manager. Arsene Wenger had a lot of pulling power in them days. Same with Sanchez. Sanchez thought, I can get top 4. I can maybe win the title. We could have won the title the year Leicester won it. I don't think we've got that much to offer a top player now, apart from history and money. We got no Europe. We haven't got a great team. We haven't got a great manager. We haven't got a great owner or director of football. We're offering them a project, a hope that something great will happen. So we have to throw big money at them. Personally, I like Maddison. I don't see Arsenal at the moment in a position where they can buy a much, much better number 10 than him. I'm just looking at it. I look at like CS says, Sabitzer, Pereira. I do view Sabitzer as more of an 8 than a 10, but I think he's a fantastic player. And Pereira is a 10 and would cost about 20 mil. Again, Sean, would I rather have Aouar or Maddison? I actually think we would need both, because I think Aouar is more of he plays a little bit deeper. I think Maddison is more of a 10. Aouar is probably more of an 8, a 6 or maybe an 8. He's not really a goal scorer, so I actually think we could do with both. But Aouar possibly a lot cheaper. So, it's an interesting one. But this Maddison one, I think they may look to get this one done. I think this could be one of their marquee signings. I have to admit, this week, I think Lokonga will be confirmed in the next few days. And I think you'll see the Ben White situation speeding up. Everything I'm hearing, and as I said, don't take it as gospel from me. I think Ben White will become an Arsenal player. I think Arsenal will pay 50 million. And I think Ben White will be completed. Is he worth 50 million? Only time will tell, man. Only time will tell. Yeah, listen, we're a big side, we're a big club, but we're not performing like it on the pitch, Kareem, if you're honest. If you're a big player now and you're trying to really, do things in your career and go on to the next level, Arsenal is not necessarily the biggest opportunity for you to go to right now, but we'll have to see. I think Maddison will be very interested in joining Arsenal. And, imagine if we buy Ben White for 50 mil and then spend 60 mil on Maddison, 110 mil on Ben White and Maddison. That, to me, does not sound like value for money. I got to be honest. If you spend 110 mil on 2 players, I want a big boy player. But listen, beggars can't be choosers. I do think Maddison improves Arsenal if he signs for us. I think he's a better number 10 than what we've got at the moment. And that's the reality. We're 8th in the league. So we probably can't get the Sabitzers and players like that who are in the Champions League. So big up Cedric Ramos said, big up Curtis. I'm a Man United fan and appreciate your channel very much, my good sir. Thank you very much. Listen, my aim is always to appeal to all football fans, even though it's predominantly Arsenal, but it is what it is. Kyle said, I think Maddison would fit in well. 110 mil for White and Maddison, it just don't sound right, does it? Ben White's had 1 season in the Premier League. He's never played in Europe. He's had 1 cap in a friendly for England. He's not even really established enough to say 50 mil. But if he comes in and he does the business, then we won't talk about it. Sancho and Varane costing United 120. That's the difference. But that's what happens when you're Champions League, when you pay the biggest wages you get more, you've got more readily available to you than what a club has who finished 8th, got no Europe, got a manager that's not established. Someone kept saying in the comments, apologies, I clicked on a comment earlier, a guy was saying about Everton, reports that Everton are trying to sign Koulibaly from Napoli. Believed he could be available for around £55 million this summer. He was once linked to Manchester City for £90 million a couple of years ago. It's believed that Koulibaly may be available for £55 million this summer. I know Koulibaly is getting on a little bit. I'm not sure how old he is now. I'm just checking. But if Koulibaly was to go to Everton, I mean, he's 30 years of age. So that's probably why the price is dropped. But in terms of quality, if you're paying 55 for Koulibaly, we're paying 50 for Ben White. But yeah, the reality is Koulibaly is 30. So I think that's the reason why he's probably able to go for so cheap now. A couple of years ago, you would have paid, 70, 80, 90 million. Green Gooner, are we as a fan base running away with ourselves over Maddison? Is he that good, or have we just fell that far? I think Maddison's one of them players that he's good when you're good. I think when Leicester play bad, I think Maddison disappears with them. So I don't think he's a world beater. I really don't. He's not in the England squad. But I do think he's better than what we've got. But I would look at other players as well, maybe before we went for him. But listen, people, thank you very much. I've been on for nearly an hour and 15 minutes. Brilliant stream. As I said, apologies that I was going on at the start, but I had to address those issues, with the things that happened yesterday and regarding the players and racial issues. But we did talk about football in England and Arsenal. Finish off on a brighter note. Thank you very much for tuning in. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for all your brilliant support during the Euros and the watch-alongs and the amazing numbers on the Copa America final. We got over 600,000 views on the Copa America. It's unbelievably overwhelming. Tomorrow, I will be back. 2 o'clock, we'll do our Arsenal update. 5:30 tomorrow evening. Live watch-along. Hibernian against Arsenal. First pre-season friendly. 6 o'clock kickoff. Join me for that. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow. Bless.